Good morning, everyone. In this video, let us talk about the science behind the famous sports volleyball, basketball, long jumps, and many more. In short, let us talk about projectile motion. But first, let me introduce to you the objectives of this video. This video aims to impart knowledge to the viewers about projectile motion and some basic concepts on solving problems about it. So now, what is projectile motion? Projectile motion is a form of motion experienced by an object or particle that is projected near the Earth's surface and moves along a curved path under the action of gravity only. As seen on the clip, the object being thrown on a curved path is the projectile, and the path is called the trajectory. While traveling in a parabolic direction, the projectile is acquiring a horizontal distance x with the horizontal velocity that is constant and a vertical distance that is subjected to the gravity 9.8 meter per second squared. These are the basic formula for solving projectile motion problem, whereas u is the velocity of the flight, theta is the angle of projectile, r is the range, h is the maximum height, and g is the gravity itself. So now, let us analyze and solve problems. But first, let us watch this clip. Sample problem number 1. On a badminton game, the first player served the shuttlecock at 0.5 meters above the ground at the angle of 45 degrees with a range of 4.5 meters. If there is no air resistance, find A, the first player's initial velocity, and B, the shuttlecock's maximum height, and C, the total time of projection. Let us analyze the problem as shown in the diagram. Given R, range is equals to 4.5 meters, angle is 45 degrees, gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared, and the height from the ground is 0.5 meters. Required is initial velocity u, maximum height h, and time t. For the equation, we will use the formula for range, height, and time. For letter A, range is equals to velocity squared sine 2 theta over g, which is the range is given as 4.5, theta is 45 degrees, and gravity is 9.8. Given those, 4.5 is equals to velocity squared sine 2 times 45 over 9.8. The velocity is 6.64 meter per second. Letter B. Height is equals to velocity squared sine squared theta over 2g. Given the velocity is 6.64 meter per second, the theta is 45 degrees, and the gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared. Height is equals to 6.64 squared sine squared 45 over 2 times 9.8. Height is equals to 1.12 meters plus 0.5 meters, so that the total maximum height is equals to 1.62 meters. Letter C. Time is equals to 2 velocity sine theta over g. Given that the velocity is 6.64, theta is 45 degrees, and gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared, time will be 2 times 6.64 sine 45 over 9.8. Time is equals to 0.96 seconds. The answers are now: the velocity would be 6.64 meter per second, the maximum height would be 1.62 meters, and the time is 0.96 seconds. Let us proceed to sample problem number 2, but first, let us watch this clip. A girl shoots the ball on the ring from a horizontal distance of 3 meters with a projectile angle of 47 degrees. Determine the height and the time the ball reaches the ring. Given that the distance is equals to 3 meters, the angle is 47 degrees, and gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared. The required are maximum height h, the time t. For the equation, we will use the formula for range, height, and time. Range is equals to velocity squared sine 2 theta over g. Horizontal distance 3 meter is multiplied by 2 to get the range, which will become 2 times 3 is equals to velocity squared sine 2 times 47 over 9.8. The velocity would be 7.68 meter per second. The height will be velocity squared sine squared theta over 2g, which will become 7.68 squared sine squared 47 over 2 times 9.8. The height would be 1.61 meters. And C, the time would be 2u sine theta over g. Since flight is up to the maximum height only, time is divided by 2. From the formula 2 times velocity sine theta over g, the 2 would be cancelled because it would be divided by 2. So the new formula would be time is equals to velocity sine theta over g. Time is equals to sine 7.68 sine 47 over 9.8. The time would be 0.57 seconds. So the answers are: maximum height h is equals to 1.61 meters, and the time t is equals to 0.57 seconds. To sum up the video, projectile motion is the motion of an object thrown or projected into the air, subject to only the acceleration of gravity. And once again, these are the basic formulas to be used in solving projectile problems. Thank you for watching, and good morning to everyone.